Consider the following formula. Which of the following statements is true for this formula for e values greater than 1? Before we get started on this problem, let's simplify this down into slope-intercept form. 3e plus d minus 5 equals 2d minus 5d plus 11. Let's start by combining our like terms. We've got 2d minus 5d, which will give us negative 3d. And then we have two constants that we can combine. However, they are across the equal sign from each other, so we'll have to use opposite operations to do that. So we'll add 5 to both sides, and that will give us, these will cancel, 3e plus d equals negative 3d plus 16. Okay, so now let's combine our d variables. So we will add 3d to both sides. Again, opposite operations. These will cancel, giving us 3e plus 4d equals 16. And now we need to get one of our variables over to the other side. So let's do 3e. It's positive, so the opposite would be subtracting it from both sides. These will cancel. We'll have 4d equals negative 3e plus 16. Then our final step, 4 is being multiplied to d, so let's divide everything by 4. This will cancel, leaving us with our final equation of d equals negative 3/4 e plus 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now that we have simplified this function, we're able to see that b can be eliminated, where d is always equal to e. This can never be true because we are multiplying something to e and adding something to e. So even if we plugged in the exact same number for d and e, the result of this would always be a different number than whatever we plugged in to begin with. If I plugged in the number 1 here for e, we would not get the number 1 as our answer for d, right? Because we will have multiplied something to it and added something to it. So b is incorrect. To tell if a, c, or d are our correct answer, we're going to need to graph. So let's start by finding our intercepts. Our x-intercept is where y equals 0. So that would be 0 equals negative 3/4 e plus 4. We can do opposite operations, subtract 4 from both sides. These will cancel, giving us negative 4 equals negative 3/4 e. Then, because negative 3/4 is being multiplied to e, we'll need to divide both sides by negative 3/4. And this is going to get a little tricky. Dividing with fractions is always tricky, but pull it to the side and remember that we need to, whenever we're dividing with fractions, keep our original number, change to multiplication, and then flip because we're multiplying by our reciprocal anytime we're dividing by fractions. So in this case, we would get 16, negative 16 over 3, which is about equal to 5.3. Then, so our coordinate point would be about 5.3, 0. Then our y-intercept, or where x equals 0, would be a bit quicker. We'd have d equals negative 3/4 times 0 instead of times e. This would totally cancel out because anything times 0 is just 0, leaving us with d equals 4, or the coordinate point for, 0, 4. So if we now I have taken our two intercepts and plotted our graph so that we can find our correct answer. If we look at our graph for values of e is greater than 1, that would be everything to the right-hand side of this purple line. We can see that there are a couple points along this graph where our y value, or our d value, is a bit greater than our e value, right? Because this is about 2.5, and then this is right at 2. But the further to the right we go, it changes. This point right here, our d value is much lower. It is 1, and our e value is 4. So the closer we are to this e equals 1 line, d is greater than e. But the further away we get from that line, e becomes greater than d. So that means A and C are both true sometimes, but not all of the time. So we cannot say that they are true statements all of the time, making both of them incorrect and making D our correct answer.